Get set, because it's time to go with the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. With your host with the most, the man voted most likely to smoke out with a Yeti, Mr. Brian Brown. Mr. Brian Brown. Now sit back and relax, because it's time to go live across the world. Because it's 420 Somewhere.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to It's 420 Somewhere podcast. That's right. Love the way that guy says it. It's 420 Somewhere. All right, guys. There we go. Perfect. We are back with another episode of It's 420 Somewhere podcast. I'm your host, Brian Brown, and you joined us on an amazing day, guys. It is Paranormal Tuesday, and we're getting into some deep, deep shit. I'm just going to say it. I cursed because it's serious, guys. I paid 2 psychics from Fiverr to do past life readings on me, and we're going to read them live on the air, guys. That's right. I kind of took a sneak peek. Had to do my research. One kind of blew my mind. We have a whole rabbit hole to jump into. We got a name, we got an age, we got a profession. We found the guy who the psychic said I was in my previous life. We found. Yeah, it's crazy. Very crazy. I'm used to like hearing stories like you were a 13th century peasant and no one's ever heard of you. But yeah, this one was weird. So we got 2 psychics. I paid for 3 different past life readings. One's going to give us 2, and then the other one is going to do 1. So the one is a tarot card, and then the second one is going to be like he goes off of vibrations, or they go off of vibrations. I don't know if it's a guy or girl. They go off of vibrations and a picture that I sent them, and then they kind of like, let the universe do its thing. So we got that, guys. We're going to look into past lives. Then we're going to look at my reading. Then we're going to do a deep dive into who I supposedly was. And, it's going to be good, guys. It's going to be good and thorough. We're going to figure some shit out. I'm just telling you that right now. We got it figured out. All right, big shout out to Teresa Deller, yesterday's winner, guys. That's right. When you say, what is this winner? What is this you are talking about? So, if you don't know, We're doing the 31 days of giveaways for the spooky holidays. That's right, guys. We are giving away swag bags, Star Wars stuff, autographs, a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, we're just going crazy, guys. But what you need to do to get entered is you're going to join us at 7:10 in the morning, or, later, whatever. That's all recorded. You can jump on at 1 if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. And you're going to answer the question of the day. And with that question of the day, you're gonna answer it. It's subjective. You're gonna get 2 or 3. Sorry, I got distracted, guys. You're gonna get 2 or 3 chances, many chances you want to win. Just answer. You can change it different times. And then you're gonna tune in at 4:10 on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast, and I'm gonna ask that question again. And you can answer it again. So you're going to get 1,000,000 times you can enter. You just blow up those comments, guys. So the question of the day today is, what horror icon were you most scared of as a kid? Or even as an adult, I don't care. Is it Pennywise the Clown, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger? Is it Bigfoot? Like, who knows? Who knows? Let me blow up those comments. Who scares you the most? And who scared you the most as a kid? Blow up those comments and let me know, guys. Oh, we got a good one for you. So, we're running slim pickings on the top 5 at 420. Jump scares. I put in jump scares, and I got, the first one was a jump scare. So I'm like, oh, great. This is going to be perfect. Well, the rest weren't jump scares. So I did the best I could with what I had, guys. We'll get into more spooky Halloween stuff tomorrow with it. But for right now, we got the top 5 at 420. And these are just epic fails, guys. There's a couple jump scares in there, but it's still hilarious. All right, let's jump into it right now, guys. That's right, guys. Top 5 at 420 brought to you by the Healing Center, 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California. Save some green on some green. This can't be good. Oh my God. She looked like she was going to throw up. She got so scared. Oh my. Oh, that was classic. That was classic. All right, number 4, guys. All right, we got a guy riding on. Oh shit! Not good. Not good at all. I'm fine. That's. I'm angry. I'm fine. Oh man. Oh yeah, you're gonna need some help there, dude. Don't break. Oh my God. All right, number 3, guys. All right, we got a puppy. Boom! Oh, shit. All right, number 2. Oh my God! Oh my God! Okay, that jump scare was better than the. That was worth it. All right, what do we got? I lost the back and now I'm stuck. Oh, so God. Now that's a panic. He just cut it. It's not bad. Oh. Oh, the panic sets in. The panic sets in. All right, guys, that was your top 5 at 420 brought to you by the Healing Center. I got some bonus rounds for you. Oh, at least she could laugh at. Oh, I laugh at that. Oh God, who hasn't done that? I did that when I was a kid. Oh, here we go. This is the best. Oh, oh, that poor guy. All right, guys. That was your top 5 at 420. Blow up those comments, guys. We got about 15 seconds till 420. What are you getting into? What are you dabbing on? What strain do you got? Who's got that Skywalker OG? Oh man, that's some good shit. But it doesn't matter because it's 420. Woo! How's everyone's 420? Cottonmouth. I was getting into some exotic piss by Alien. Not cheetah piss, exotic piss by Alien, guys. Ooh, man, Alien, I've said it for the last 2 years, man. They've upped their game. They're the brand to watch, man. Woo, I really enjoy their packaging. I enjoy their weed. And Alien has it going on, guys. But you know what else has it going on? The Daily Dank and thedailydank.com. Make sure you're checking that out over there. I haven't plugged that in a couple of days. Make sure you're checking out thedailydank.com, guys. And making sure you like all our pages, like all our stuff. Well, we got so much content coming out. Just keep up to date on it. We appreciate it. All right, guys, we are getting into Paranormal Tuesday, and I'm excited. Past lives. This is something I've never really gotten into. I did a hypnosis session one time. I was going for anger. Go figure. Some anger management. And the guy, we did a few sessions, and the guy's like, hey, do you want to do a past life hypnosis? I'm like, hell yeah, I do. So we got in. I had no problem falling under hypnosis for anything before that. Could not put me under for past life. He said, maybe I just don't believe in it. Maybe, my mind, even though I subconsciously want to. Whatever it may be, we couldn't get that done. So I've sat on this for many, many years thinking, but there's certain traits that we have that, I always wonder, man, I wonder if that's from a past life or something. I don't know too much about it, but we are going to dive deep into it, guys. So past lives, something I've never really got deep into, but I've always been curious, One of those things where, you have a certain mannerism, certain things, and it makes you wonder, how do I know these things? How do I have these instincts? So, I've always been real curious about that. So I thought we'd jump into that today, guys, being the Halloween season, being the creepy time season. Let me add this real quick. So first, we're going to do a little deep dive into what past lives are, the theories behind them, who believes in them, who doesn't, that type of thing. We have our friends at Fax Versa that pumped out this video, so we're going to check it out, guys, do a little commentary on it, and then we're going to get after this, after we learn a little bit about past lives, we're going to get into our own, guys. We're going to jump into my readings, and we're going to learn all about who the guy said I was. Very crazy. All right, let's get into this right now, guys.
FactsVerse presents. According to a psychologist, this is proof that past lives are real. Many people believe in past lives and reincarnation, and it's not a new concept. The ancient Greeks and the Celtic Druids believed that when they died, they would come back. It's also a common belief in religions such as Hinduism and Sikhism. Right? According to recent studies, about 24% of even Christians in the United States are taken in by the idea of reincarnation.
That's a big
Ian
number.
Stevenson is a psychiatrist who spent most of his life researching reincarnation. He believed that a person's specific traits could carry over into the next life. Ian was born in Montreal in 1918. He was raised in Ottawa and owned many books on theosophy. These books interested Ian because of his own preoccupation with the supernatural. These books refer to an occultist religion that teaches reincarnation, and this was when he started getting interested in it. During the 50s, Ian began studying psychoanalysis. At the same time, he became the head of the University of Virginia's psychiatric branch. When he published a paper about personality being more plastic in children, it was not received well by his peers. Ian didn't let that put him off, though, and he continued with his research. He ended up finding children who could remember their past lives, and they were willing to open up to Ian about these memories. During his research, Ian found surprising patterns in these children. First, he discovered that the children who remembered their past lives told the stories between the ages of 2 and 5 years old. By the time the children were 8 or 9, the memories had already begun to fade. The children who did have memories of past lives remembered having vivid memories of dying violently. Ian believed that these past lives could explain a person's phobias or deformities in this life. Ian wrote an essay titled "The Evidence for Survival from Claimed Memories of Former Incarnations." He wrote the essay in 1958, and his work included 44 examples of people who claimed to have had past life memories. His essay ended up taking first prize in a contest hosted by the American Society for Psychical Research. An Irish medium named Eileen Garrett took an interest in Ian's article, and she wanted him to continue to explore his theory. She offered to fund his trip to India, where Ian was able to conduct an interview with a child who had claimed to remember a past life. During his trip there, Ian was able to find 25 other children who claimed to have memories of a past life.
Wow, that's a lot.
In 1966, he wrote a book called 20 Cases Suggestive of Reincarnation. Shortly after, the inventor of xerography, Chester Carlson, was introduced to Ian by his wife. After the meeting, Carlson agreed to fund Ian's future work. In 1968, Carlson had a fatal heart attack, and he left $1 million to the University of Virginia so that Ian could continue his research. At first, the university didn't want to take the money, but in the end they accepted it, and Ian was named the Carlson Professor of Psychiatry. Thanks to the funding, Ian was able to continue with his research full-time. He started traveling regularly to find new cases. During his research, he traveled 55,000 miles every year, and he interviewed around 3,000 children from around the world. Ian managed to find a young girl that he thought proved his theory. She was from Sri Lanka, and she discussed a town that she had never visited and that her mother had never mentioned. She claimed that she drowned in a river due to the actions of her intellectually challenged sibling. The girl told Ian that, in her memory, she had a father named Harith, who was a bald florist. She remembered living in a home with a skylight with a large Hindu family next door. She also remembered dogs being in the backyard and people breaking coconuts on the floor outside the temple. When she told Ian her story, he worked to try and confirm the girl's details. In his research, Ian discovered that a florist was living in the town. He had a 2-year-old daughter who drowned while playing with her mentally challenged brother. The man did have dogs, and his house was next door to a temple, a Hindu temple.
Wow.
Part of their religion was to break coconuts for offerings. Not everything about the little girl's story was accurate, though. The man whose daughter died was not bald, but his father and brother were. Ian checked out 30 facts given by the girl. 27 of them were correct, and this led Ian to believe that he was on the right track. Ian believed that birthmarks and deformities were also associated with reincarnation. He thought that children with rare body defects at birth, or strange birthmarks, or birthmarks in peculiar places, it was all related to past lives. His paper, Reincarnation and Biology, focuses on over 200 reports of kids with past life memories who did have these strange physical features. Ian wanted to prove that these anomalies lined up with the physical injuries that a child sustained in the memories of their past lives. He was able to confirm his theory using autopsy reports from the deceased person. He also consulted photos of the corpses. A child from Turkey had an underdeveloped face and had a memory of a man being killed with a shotgun. A child in Thailand that Ian spoke with had birthmarks on the front and back of his head. The boy claimed to remember being shot in the head with a rifle. A girl who was born with only one leg claimed to remember being hit by a train in a past life. Ian spoke to a boy in India who was born with a stubbed hand, which was said to be a very uncommon deformity. He remembered having a mechanical accident in his past and lost his fingers. Ian believes the children he spoke to were being honest, but not every child has memories of a past life. Reincarnation is widely accepted in India, and only 1 in 500 children have memories of past lives even there. Ian believes that adults could not extract memories of past lives through direct questioning. They need to be remembered by a child. These memories were often triggered during an external event. In most of the children he spoke with, they remembered dying violently. Ian believed that it was these intense emotions that allowed the child to carry the memory to their next life. During this research, Ian discovered that reincarnation didn't happen right away. There were often several years between the past life and the new one. He did notice, however, that the individual's souls often remained in the same local area. He also believed that there was a link between phobias and past lives. Those who had memories of drowning in their past life were often afraid of water in this life. Ian didn't discover evidence of past lives in just children. He spoke to a woman in Burma who had a previous life experience. The woman said she dreamed of an old sage. The sage told the woman that a man who had recently died would be entrusted to her. The next day, the dead man's wife went to see the woman, and she claimed to have dreamed of the sage as well. She told the woman that she would soon bear her dead husband. Shortly after the meeting, the woman found out that she was pregnant. Ian believed that there were too many coincidences in this story not to take them seriously. Many people didn't believe in Ian's work or his theories. In an obituary for the New York Times, Margaret Fox wrote that his detractors saw him as dogged and earnest. It's also said that he was led to his beliefs strictly due to wishful thinking. Others believed that what Ian was hearing from the children was just wild stories that they were creating in their own imaginations.
Too many.
People thought he was naive and claimed that his findings lacked cultural context. While some people in the psychiatric and scientific community did not believe in Ian's work, Doris Kuhlman-Wilsdorf, an award-winning physicist, endorsed her death in 2010. And before she died, she said, "The statistical probability that reincarnation does in fact occur is so overwhelming that cumulatively the evidence is not inferior to that for most, if not all, branches of science." According to a psychologist, this is proof that past lives are real. Some believe the research is too damning not to believe. Others believe that his theories are just wild stories made up by a man who needed something to believe in.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that his research was made up? That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of miles. That's a lot of different data. I mean, wow. That's pretty in-depth. I've never really thought about, remembering. You know, I have a couple things, like quirks, I guess you would say. One is I absolutely hate to have my head under any kind of faucet. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely won't do it. I hate it. I don't know why. Just always have been that way. But when we get into the story, I've always been cautious around the backside of horses and donkeys. And when we get into my past life reading, it's a little coincidental. But we're going to get into this, guys. So I had 3 done. We're going to get into 2. And then if we have time, we'll get into the 3rd. If not, we'll save the 3rd for a different one. We're always doing paranormal stuff. All right, guys. So we are going to start off with the past life reading from Jessica Kille, Kylie? Jessica Kyle. That's right. You can find her on Fiverr. Find her on Fiverr. And I'll throw all the links and stuff in the description, guys. All right, so we'll throw up the first letter. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Probably not. All right, so this is on October 15th. The first life that she sees me in is a 1870s settler. Ranch hand, I handled horses and cattle. Horse ranching, training, wrangling, moving horses. Took care of mother. Daddy died in a drunk shootout. And I lived in a stick-built house. No wife, no children. I was a soft-hearted man. And I died when I was kicked in the chest by a horse. That's right. In this life, I see you as a man who grew up in Texas settlement after your parents trekked across the country to make a new life. The land looks pretty barren. Oh, land looks pretty barren. Where was I at? With like a Midwestern towns you see in the old movies. Lots of dirt, not a lot of green. Your father was not equipped to be a working man. He was an alcoholic. He was sporadic, so your mother took in laundry and did sewing. She was the one who made living there sustainable. When you were old enough, around the age of 10, you started helping out, doing little tasks for the men around town. Around age 13, your dad was killed in a shootout. He was drunk and said the wrong thing to somebody. It was actually a relief for your mother not having to hide the money and makes excuses for himself anymore. Let's see what else we got. By this time, small ranches were popping up everywhere. There were wild horses they were bringing and caught and sold to cowboys and business people. You started working for one of these ranches, one that became very large and well known in the area. And you were able to give money to your mother to help out as she got older. You did hard work, but you loved working with the horses. You loved the chase the most. It was exhilarating to catch something so wild and tamed it. When your mother died, you abandoned the old shack of a house and stayed on the ranch, traveling back and forth with livestock to different ranches when the animals were sold. Let's see. When the animals were sold. You liked your life. It was quiet enough, but also social enough. I don't see any wife or children, but you had short flings, with quite a few women, with traveling. It was easy to have a girl in every town, you know. There was also the brotherhood of a group of men you worked with. You all got along pretty well, not many fights. The ending of your life this time was sudden and abrupt. You died doing what you loved, but it was traumatic. I got kicked in the chest from a horse and laid me right out. That's right, guys. That damn horse. The reasoning is I feel like this life came through for you as a reminder to make time for your things that you love. Also as a validation of your journey to overcome the childhood traumas in this present life. You have done a lot of work to be where you are. You're going and don't give up. You have purpose here. Woo! All right, guys. So that's interesting. You know what? That's very interesting. You know, if there is, we've all, like, everyone made that trek sooner or later. Well, not everyone, but you guys know what I mean. Now, this next life is very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. We're going to do this deep dive and see what we can get into. Okay, so first, life number 2, guys. She sees me as a boxer that died in the ring or from an injury from boxing in the early 1930s. Coma, a brain injury perhaps, and an F name or F's in the name. New York, might not been from New York, but the matches was there, in question mark. Shouldn't have been fighting because of illness. Not married, but lots of nieces and nephews. Tight family, good background, but had problems with dad. Military, maybe Navy. Started boxing in the military to keep from being bullied. All right. So, this is where it gets weird, guys. In this life, I see you as a very fit man around the age of 30, living around the area of New York or New Jersey. I don't think you're from there, but you come there with your family. You have a few siblings. Your family is very tight-knit, except for your dad. He's a very gruff person that makes life harder than it should be, but your mother is a saint. I feel like he abused her. I feel like as soon as you were able to, you joined the military. That's where you started boxing. I think it stemmed from being bullied and you had to stand up for yourself. Then found out you were really good at fighting. So that's how you made a career out of it. When you got out of the military, you got in a vent into an event that set up fights for you. The money was good. You traveled sometimes for fights with different opponents. I don't see any steady women in your life. You don't have time because you were always training and your manager kept you from socializing. You figured once you were through with boxing, because there was an age limit, that you would quit. Then you would pursue a family, sorry. But that was not to be. You had a match you shouldn't have fought because you were sick or was getting over an illness, and you fought anyway because you were pressured by your managers. It was a mistake. You got knocked out and didn't wake up. If you hadn't been sick, you might have not have died from that. So then they Googled boxers that died in the 30s. And this is where we get this deep dive, guys. So there's the newspaper. I know it's a little far away. Let me see if I can edit this in for you guys. Edit properties. There we go. Hang on. Give me 1 second, guys. I definitely want you to see this. All right. Now check this out. So this is Ernie Schaaf. He died during a boxing match in the 1930s. And that's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So now here with the... Let me do this, guys. All right. So now with the modern technology, guys, with AI and everything, we're going to take a look at Ernie Schaaf, I believe that's their name, who I supposedly was in my past life. But we actually get to see with through AI what this gentleman looked like, some mannerisms because he's moving around. Let's check this out.
Frederick Ernest Schaaf, better known as...
So what do you guys think? This was supposedly me in another life.
He was born on September 27th.
I don't know. I can see some similarities. I see
Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Forehead.
He had a record of 53 victories.
Is that him again, or is that somebody else?
13 losses.
That might be him. Hey, good-looking guy. Hey.
23 of his victories.
Yeah, that was him. I could see it a little bit.
He also had 7.
I could definitely see it. I'm not saying like the past life thing is 100% true, but I could definitely see how. Yeah, look at that. Ernie Schaaf. Oh, damn. Found to have hemorrhaging. Dang. So now I looked a little bit into this fight as well. This guy. This Ernie Schaaf was a heavyweight. He weighed about 230, 240. But the guy he fought outweighed him by at least 100 pounds. They actually made a category for the gentleman after this fight for like a super heavyweight because it just seemed like so unfair. Ernie Schaaf was a contender, man. He could have been a contender. I don't know. You know, very interesting to think about, like something like that. Like especially to be able to see the guy, see pictures. I had never heard of this guy before, so this is the infamous fight. As you can tell, that guy. I actually have footage from the last round of the fight that we'll watch here in a second. Like I said, man, as you can see,
he was brutally knocked out in the 13th round.
I don't know. It's very interesting. Very different, for sure. All right, guys. So, what are we doing here? We got the round 13 of the famous fight that Ernie Schaaf, is that his name? Ernie Schaaf died in. He suffered a brain aneurysm and a hemorrhage. He died 3 days later in the hospital. And you know what? I do want to put, I watched some videos on it. The man who killed him felt really bad about it. like really horrible. And Ernie Schaaf's mom actually went up to him and forgave him and tried to put him at ease because, I mean, rules of boxing were different. It was a different time. I mean, but man, lose your son in a boxing match, it's got to be bad. What a good woman, though, to be worried. You know, there's another boy out there who could use my guidance. Very, very cool. I was getting emotional. That's weird. All right, guys, so we're going to get into this round 13. And you'll see how much bigger this guy is. And just one shot. Doesn't even look like he landed it. But, man, must have just hit him just right. All right, let's check this out, guys. Now, here we go. Ernie Schaaf throwing some punches. God, that guy is big, man. And this is 13 rounds. Ernie Schaaf has been going with this guy for, that guy's huge. Oh, that's it. Straight jab. Look. Look, he's even trying to help him up. Oh, damn. Huh.
The fateful 13th round.
Wow. That's pretty insane. That is pretty insane. Like, I don't know. Hang on one second, guys. Do this real quick. All right. So what do you guys think? Ernie Schaaf. That's a horrible way to die. Sounds like he had a pretty good life. But that's who the psychic is saying that I was in a previous life. I think it's pretty damn cool. Deep dive into it, too, that we actually could put a name and a face, a profession, a life together. We might look into it a little more, guys. I have a whole nother audio past life reading that I paid for that we'll go ahead and throw. Maybe we'll just do a standalone video on it. Don't want to keep you guys on here for too long, but that's what we're looking at, guys. So what do you guys think about past lives? Blow it up in those comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think about past lives. If you've ever had a reading done or if you've ever had any memories, let me know what your past life was and blow up those comments, guys. We appreciate it. Oh. I definitely want to announce a winner chicken dinner. And today's winner chicken dinner is, we call her Tracy. I don't know. Switch. That's right. You win. Congratulations. We'll get you that bag. Get with me. I will message you. I have your other prizes too. I'll get with you this week and make sure I get those to you 100%. Tired of not getting your stuff I'll up the game. I want to make sure that you're taken care of. All right, guys. Congratulations, Tracy. Appreciate it. Hopefully everyone's doing great. Doing great. That's right. I'm doing good. Learned a little bit about past lives on this Paranormal Tuesday, guys. Make sure you're checking out the TdD&x and blow up those comments, guys. Get entered to win. We will see you tomorrow at 7:10. We'll see you guys. What?
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by TheDailyDank.com. Check out our merchandise and amazing content. And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.